Hello, I'm Babla Jonathan, and this is the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Équinoxe Television, broadcasting from Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. In the top stories in this edition of the news, several streets in major towns of the crisis-hit northwest and southwest regions of the Republic of Cameroon remained deserted throughout this day, October 1, the day former British Southern Cameroon gained her independence by joining La République du Cameroon. We're going to show you the dead picture of some major towns in the northwest and southwest regions of the country. In this newscast, we will also continue with our series on the state of schools ahead of school resumption 5th October 2020. We begin this newscast in the southwest regional chief town, Buhari, where the streets remained deserted throughout this day. Today, of course, October 1, the day former British Southern Cameroon gained her independence by joining La République du Cameroon in 1961. Our correspondent in the southwest regional capital, Buhari, Derek Jato, has in details.
October 1, 2020 in Buhari, the southwest regional capital. Équinoxe Television started the day here at mile 17 bus station. It is 9 a.m. and it is very quiet and very deserted. This is the situational picture here. Apart from being the gateway into the southwest regional capital, mile 17 bus station is also a business hub, but it is deserted. The bright weather exposed the clean and empty Moleko as we pushes up to clerk quarters. Here, some business centers were opened, and there were people on the street. Some taxis were also spotted. Going further to the Southwest Regional Administrative Headquarters, the secondary education and the basic education delegations were seen very busy. Some newly recruited teachers, we were told, we are getting set for a meeting. At the Buhari Council, everyone had answered present, and at press time, the town of Buhari, the southwest regional capital, was progressively gaining steam as doors of most business centers were being opened hitch-free.
Kumba in the Meme division, southwest region of Cameroon, was equally near dead town today, and of course the people simply stayed indoors for fear of the unknown as a result of the unstable and uncertain socio-political and security climate reigning there, and the fact that October 1 every year is a very significant day in the history of former British Southern Cameroon, but has often been characterized by a tense socio-political climate as a result of the secessionist tendencies expressed by some Cameroonians from the northwest and southwest regions of the country who are fighting to restore the independence of the former Southern Cameroon's state. And of course the streets of Kumba were very deserted today. In some parts of the town, some few persons who managed to brave the fear and move out were simply picked up by mixed security patrol teams, and the people stayed indoors. But however, some few shops were operating in some remote quarters of the town of Kumba. The military presence dropped this evening as compared to the early hours of the morning. And coming up, we are showing you the town of Bamenda in the northwest region of Cameroon. The streets were equally deserted in that part of the country, and it is for the same reason. October 1, and of course the crisis that has continued deepening for close to 4 years today. And before that, we take you to Limbe, where the town was equally dead, but relatively more active than other parts of the country. Davidson Maimo reports from Limbe.
It is exactly 9 a.m. by my watch, and of course you can see the street. It's all deserted. The people are actually afraid of the unknown. That is why all places are locked here within the city of Limbe. And of course, as we go through the city, we continue to see other areas from Cassava Farm, Church Street, Lonesome, everywhere totally shut down. Even taxis, they are not circulating, and only a few bikes that we are finding that are on circulation. And those who talk to off microphone, they made us to understand that actually they are not working. That is what they told us, even though we know some of them as commercial motorbike riders, but they refuse to us that they are not actually working, that probably they too are out to actually see the very situation that we are all seeing here in the city of Limbe. The reason behind it is very clear. It is a day, 1st October, that of course the separatists believe that it is an Independence Day for Southern Cameroonian. We are actually around the Seka Junction area in Newtown, moving towards West End. You can see for yourself, the street is totally deserted. Most people walking on foot. To find a taxi is real hell here in the city of Limbe. In fact, the streets are all empty. Even children can play football within the cart now, as you can see for yourself. It is a situation today, the 1st of October 2020. We are at Newtown in Limbe, around the old market. You see for yourself, the shops are all closed within this area. It is the old market here in Limbe, and of course you can see for yourself the street that is moving down towards Down Beach area. It is actually empty. Even to find people opening their door is actually difficult. Just a few persons are on foot. The people that we talked to off microphone told us that they just need to be cautioned about the unforeseen, and that is the reason why most of them are indoors. And of course, all the taxis you see for yourself, they are all grounded this day here in the city of Limbe. And don't forget that the governor to the southwest region, Bernardo Kalai-Bilai, has actually called on the people to come out and carry on their activities normally. That security dispensation actually has been put in place, but movement is very difficult, and opening businesses is very difficult, and the people are all frightened about the unforeseen situation here in the city of Limbe. Security taking dispensation in all neighborhoods within the entire city to actually prepare for any eventuality, but yet nothing has occurred. I'm Davidson Maimo for Équinoxe Television, live in the seaside resort city of Limbe.
In Indian Division, the administrative authorities indicated that activities were going on normally despite the security atmosphere reigning across Anglophone Cameroon for close to 4 years today. And the senior divisional officer of the Indian Division, Fowang Lawrence, went around from different parts, from one part of the town or the administrative unit, the division, to the other, seeing what is happening and seeing the state of affairs on this October 1. Derek Jato reports.
Mundemba, divisional headquarters of Indian Division in the southwest region of Cameroon, on October 1, 2020. It is a picture of a people going about their daily activities. From domestic to business activities, deals have been sealed unperturbed. At the senior divisional officer's office, Fowang Lawrence, the senior divisional officer from Indian Division, had just returned from the field.
Very much. I can affirm now that after having gotten to all the 9 administrative units of Indian Division is relatively calm today, the 1st of October 2020. People are going about their normal businesses.
What even took him round was not the October 1 day per se, but to see how the various learning institutions in his area of command are fine-tuning measures for an effective takeoff for the 2020-2021 school year.
Parents are preparing to send their children back to school. Already some school teachers, head teachers, principals are in their various college, in their various establishments receiving new students. All in all, it is Indian Division which is witnessing a calm atmosphere today.
October 1 in former British Southern Cameroons has a mark that many say is indelible.
The Rijato reporting there, and I told you earlier that the town of Bamenda, headquarters of the northwest region of the country, was equally deserted today from Commercial Avenue, an area which is generally busy on normal days and was quite busy even before the Anglophone crisis. It was the busiest part of the town of the northwest region of Cameroon. Today, it was a dead zone from Commercial Avenue to other parts of the town. The people were not on the streets, motorbikes were not on the streets, cabs were absent on the streets as a result of the Anglophone crisis. And the date of October 1, the day former British Southern Cameroon gained independence, but which has remained a day characterized by tension in the northwest and southwest region of the country, the northwest and southwest regions of the country that have been suffering the impact of the socio-political and security tensions for over 4 years today. On to something else now. We take you to our series on the state of schools before or ahead of the 2020-2021 academic year. We begin here in the Bonner Summer in the Douala-4 subdivision, and we're going to show you the state of the primary school of that locality. The school is in a deplorable state. The state of the school, it does not look like it will welcome pupils on the 5th of October 2020.
Less than a week to the official start of classes for the 2020-2021 academic year in Cameroon. This is the state of government school complex Bonasama in the Douala-4 subdivision. Classrooms have been inundated with water levels high and closer to the blackboard.
In this environment, we have 4 schools. We have James Bonasama 1, we have Jeps Bonasama, we have École Publique Group 1, and we have École Publique Group 2. Today is already the 1st of October. Schools will be reopening on the 5th. The situation of the school is really putting us in a confusion, because we don't see how children can study in this environment, especially the nursery kids.
The main assembly ground has a more disturbing image as it has been transformed into a swimming pool.
I also understand that we are in a chantier, but the beginning of school on the 5th October in this situation is somehow pathetic. So we really want to plead that the government should do something and help us, even if it is to fill these classrooms that are filled with water, so that the children can start. I know that things must go gradually, so we plead that they should help us and fill these classrooms, and then also ameliorate the gate, the entrance of the school, because even right up to the fence, the water is coming in under. There is no way for children to really study.
Dirty, dilapidated with broken walls. This is where kids of Government English Nursery School Bonasama, Government English Primary School Bonasama, École Publique Group 1 Bonasama, and École Publique Group 2 Bonasama will have to study beginning October the 5th, 2020. A state of infrastructure which, according to some parents, discourages the choice of a government school for their kids.
Parents keep running away from government institutions to go to private. I prefer to spend the money and let my child attend the best education, because what I see here, if a child can be able to sit in this kind of environment and study, I don't think that the kind of study he or she will attend in this school will even make him to go somewhere.
As last-minute infrastructural preparations heightens across the country, government school complex Bonasama in the Douala-4 subdivision is still on a forgotten page.
In the West region of Cameroon, stakeholders or education stakeholders are lamenting over difficulties which they are facing with regards to the effective resumption of academic activities on the 5th of October 2020 in the Republic of Cameroon. We spoke to some bookshop owners and some parents, and we compiled their views and difficulties in this report. Immaculate Fogwe.
Few days to school resumption in Cameroon, several bookshops in the West region are yet to start receiving customers. The teeny turnout of buyers has been blamed on economic hardship and non-publication of some examination results. Our living conditions are poor, making it difficult for us to purchase our children's school needs.
Le résultat des examens.
We are still waiting for our children's results to be published, and we are not sure if our children will make it after the publication of official examination results. Roadside vendors of school gadgets are equally not left out. Many of them are accusing the COVID-19 pandemic for being responsible of the slow state of business affairs. The coronavirus pandemic is making life extremely difficult for us. Many of us are not sure if schools will effectively resume this year. Business is really slow. We are already at the end of the month when salaries are paid, but we are yet to receive parents. These book vendors in the West region of Cameroon hope that things will get better after the publication of some examination results.
And the government says it is taking all necessary measures to ensure a hitch-free and safe back-to-school 2020-2021. Government spokesperson and Minister of Communication Rene Emmanuel Sadi, the Ministers of Higher Education, Secondary Education and Basic Education were speaking to the press yesterday in the nation's political capital Yaoundé. Take a listen to Minister Rene Emmanuel Sadi.
That the COVID-19 pandemic has not yet been defeated, let alone eradicated in Cameroon. This government communications aims to better inform and reassure the various stakeholders of the national educational community on the measures taken so far by those responsible for the different levels of education, that is to say, the members of government here present, in order to allow the pupils, students, as well as their trainers, to start and witness the smooth resumption of the 2020-2021 school year without running the risk of jeopardizing their health as a result of the COVID-19. It needs to be recalled that the future of the nation fully relies on the comprehensive and well-accomplished training of our young peoples and students. As we know, the head of state personally attaches the highest importance to all matters that relate to the training of his young compatriots and to a meticulous and successful organization of the school year in our country. It is a requirement that cannot be compromised. It is for this reason that despite the pandemic, which was already a call for concern a few months ago, the government had decided to organize a partial and well-targeted resumption of classes with a view to complete the 2019-2020 school year for pupils and students in exam classes. Given that the resumption of classes and the organization of the end-of-year exams which followed could be ensured without any major incident which could be detrimental to the health and life of our young learners or the teaching staff. It is in this light, and considering both the need for classes to resume in a context where the coronavirus pandemic is still present and the absolute requirement to implement all the measures taken to cope with this pandemic, that the government has decided to set the start of the school year on October 5, 2020 for nursery, primary, and secondary school pupils, and on October 15, 2020, for learners in higher education.
Communication Minister and Government Spokesperson Rene Emmanuel Sadi speaking there. The Ministers of Basic, Secondary and Higher Education elaborated on the measures that have been taken this far to ensure that the teachers, school officials, pupils and students carry on with the teaching and learning process in a safe environment. Take a listen to the Minister of Secondary Education, Pauline Naluvalionga.
If there were no COVID-19, we would not be here. It is COVID-19 that has brought us here. We all have a problem. It's a problem which is not a problem of teachers, not a problem of students. It's a problem of everyone in Cameroon. And as we know, it's a pandemic, therefore the whole world. And when we are here to solve a problem, it means that all of us have a contribution to make as far as the solution of this problem is concerned. The first thing is that we all want to go to school. We have been proven right that we decided to open the school year, and as a result, we did not have a blank year. We had a very good year. In fact, were it not for the COVID-19, we would have recorded excellent results. As to whether or not schools should begin, in Cameroon, we have said schools should begin. We have been right once, we were right then, we shall be right this time as well. Now is the biggest challenge so far, because at first we only did the examination classes. That was easier to handle. It was small numbers. Here we're talking about some schools, very big schools with thousands and thousands of students. How are you going to effect the social distancing? But we're saying no to the pandemic, and therefore we have put out some social measures. Let me begin by saying the idea is to expand the measures that we had used during the examination period. So that is easy. If it's water, we have more water. Washing of hands, we wash hands more regularly. If we're disinfecting classrooms, it is done more regularly. Let me just say that's the expansion. There is an expansion of those measures.
Minister Naluvalionga speaking there, and despite the measures that the government has taken so far to ensure that the pupils, teachers, school officials are safe as they return to school October 5th, some school officials, including principals, headmasters, teachers, students and parents, are raising concerns over some of the measures taken so far. And in the northwest and southwest regions of the country, there are concerns, notably with regards to the security climate reigning there, and of course the COVID-19 that came to add to the already difficult situation in those parts of the country. In the meantime, the fact that the results of the General Certificate of Education are yet to be released is another problem, and this has left many parents in Lumindemongo division in confusion. Details in this report compiled by Smanjik and Gabriel.
Hours to the kickoff of the 2020-2021 academic year, it's total confusion that reigns with parents.
We don't know whether this year they will go to school or not, because now we the parents, we don't know whether we will find them admission in which school and at which time.
It is not easy for us registering children to school on Monday, the 6th. Very, very traumatizing for us parents. Now that we don't really know.
The reason for this confusion is because till date, results of the August session of examination organized by the General Certificate of Education Board are not yet published.
We the parents, we are supposed to program ourselves how to send them to school and how to buy their school needs. But now we are blocked, at least to try by all possible means to make sure that let the GCE results should be out.
Everywhere they have been asking us what has happened, that the GCE results for this year have been long awaited. that up till now, they are not yet out. They don't know whether to prepare the children for still the classes they were there, or for the next class they had to go to.
Vendors of books in markets are crying that the business is slow compared to other school years. It is the same cry for tailors who have received little commands for uniforms to be made ahead of the new school year. The kids who are also expected to be in school on Monday, October 5, 2020, still cast doubt of effective resumption apart from the results of the GCE still awaited. Many observers say October 5 is World Teachers Day and are confused if the teachers would sacrifice the lone day they have to make out their grievances for the start of the academic year.
School is going to start on the 5th of October, and that same day is the International Day of the Teachers. So there's some sort of controversy. We don't know how things are going to be like on that 5th of October. So we don't know if on that 5th of October the Teachers' Day will be held.
With all attention focused on Buhari for the release of the results of the GCE examination, many say the calendar of the school year, which has already suffered modification, might have more changes on it. It is the first time results of exams organized by the GCE board take long for it to be released.
Out of Cameroon, Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari appeals for unity as the country celebrates its 60th anniversary. Nigeria gained independence from Britain October 1, 1960, and 7 years later a civil war erupted as the southeastern region tried to form the breakaway Biafra state. Millions of people are believed to have been killed before the war ended in 1970, and tensions have persisted between the north and south, and there have been rivalries between ethnic groups. And President Muhammadu Buhari promised to consolidate the country's democracy and called for patriotism. Take a listen.
Residing in urban areas, 60 years of nationhood provides an opportunity to ask ourselves questions on the extent to which we have sustained the aspirations of our founding fathers. Where did we do the right things? Are we on course? If not, where did we stray, and how can we remedy and retrace our steps? Upon attaining independence, Nigeria's growth trajectory was anchored on policies and programs that positively impacted on all sectors of the economy. However, this journey was cut short by the 30 months of civil war. We came out of the civil war with a focus on reconstruction, rehabilitation, and reconciliation that enabled the country to put in place world-class development structures and a strengthened public service that well served the government. This positive trajectory continued with a return to democratic government, which was truncated by another round of military rule. For a cumulative 29 of our 60 years existence as a nation, we have been under military rule. My summary of our journey so far as a nation is necessary to appropriately chart where we need to go and how to get there together. Today, I am aware that our economy, along with every single economy in the world, is in crisis. We still face security challenges in parts of the country, while our society suffers from high loss of moral rectitude, which is driven by unbridled craving for political control. An underlying cause of most of the problems we have faced as a nation is our consistent harping on artificially contrived fault lines that we have harbored and allowed unnecessarily to fester. In addition, institutions such as civil service, police, the judiciary, the military all suffered from a general decline. We need to begin a sincere process of national healing, and this anniversary presents a genuine opportunity to eliminate old and outworn perceptions that are always put to test in the lie they always are. The stereotype of thinking of ourselves as coming from one part of the country before seeing ourselves as Nigerians is a key starting point to project us on the road to our deserved nation's evolution and integration. To start this healing process, we are already blessed with the most important asset any nation requires for such, our people. And this has manifested globally in the exploits of Nigerians in many fields. It has been demonstrated time and time again that Nigerians in the diaspora frequently excel in science, technology, medicine, sports, arts, and many other fields. Similarly, the creativity, ingenuity, and resourcefulness of the Nigerian at home has resulted in globally recognized endeavors. I am convinced that if we pursue our aspirations together, we would be able to achieve whatever we desire. That informed our adopting the theme together to mark this epochal event. Together we can change our condition for the better, and more importantly, together we can do much more for ourselves and for our country.
Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, speaking on the 60th anniversary of the country being observed today. This is where we end this edition of the news on Équinoxe Television. Thanks for staying with us. Goodbye.
Équinoxe Tv.